Everybody, welcome to Mid America Dirt. I'm Skip, and I am super excited to be joined by Dylan McCowan. Dylan, man, you had a great weekend, and I just want to ask you this question: do you know how proud you've made folks in our region, man? That was super cool, super cool.
Yeah,
How
it
do you
was,
feel about it?
it's definitely a feeling unknown. It's hard to even explain. First off, glad we could keep that diamond ring in the Show Me State for once, you know. But no, it's pretty crazy. We're riding the high right now. We're just thankful and very blessed to be able to have the opportunity to do what we did and to have this opportunity and to be able to capitalize on it, and just everything that's worked up to this point. There's been a lot of struggles and trials and everything else, and I still feel like we're learning. It's definitely a tough sport, and I mean, the guys on this series, they're no joke. Like I was
Yeah,
saying the other day, they do it for a living. So it's not like we're going and weekend racing. No, we're in it, and these guys mean business. So
yeah, 100%. I mean, the best in the country. I mean, for the most part, you're racing against the best competition in the country right there. And man, it looked like, I mean, you just once you got out there, man, you drove through. You seemed like your car did everything you wanted to do. You moved through the field really well. You stayed out of trouble, and you got up there in front, and you smoked them out.
yeah, no, we Riley Duncan had that car really good both days. And the car felt really balanced. Probably the most balanced it's felt all year. It was really well. I could do whatever I needed to do in traffic, and I felt comfortable in it. That if I did put it somewhere on the racetrack, that it was going to do exactly what I asked of it. Which is a very very good feeling inside the race car. You
I
don't
bet.
get it like that just a whole heck of a lot of times. So and then once I got out in front, just tried to hit my marks. I kept telling myself, be smooth and hit your marks, just every lap, just hit your marks. And you know, I feel like I've made 1.5 billion laps around the bottom at Lucas Oil, and the top. I've raced all over that thing, seen it in every, condition it can possibly be in. From racing modifieds there, and I think it played a key part in Friday and Saturday night. Saturday night for sure. It felt, I told them guys, it felt like a Saturday night in my old modified. So it definitely played into my hand, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. I've watched quite a few races there. It seemed to me like, man, for a fan, I'm talking about a fan perspective. That's some of the best racing I've seen there.
Yeah,
That
yeah. No,
track looked
I don't
racy.
know what they have done, but they have made that track extremely racy. Like even Friday night when it was starting to streak off and stuff. I thought all night long it raced really well. Like I told 5 or 10 people, man, it felt like old Wheatland grip, It's I think they got it back going good again, and I there was a bunch of people that were complaining that it was too gripped up, but I'm like, man, we got 900 horse, we might as well use it.
Yeah, no joke. No
So
joke.
I thought it raced really well. There was, a lot of passing and definitely, even in Saturday night's feature, I felt like there was quite a few different lines of racing. Like, when I was trying to get around Overton there, I was trying to top and doing whatever I could do. He was just so good, there for the longest time that just had to try different things, and my stick guy Riley was doing one heck of a job on the sticks Friday, Saturday. I mean, that old boy was working them sticks for all they were worth.
That's awesome.
So it just everything went right. All the stars aligned. That's you got to have that everything go right to even be in the front of one of these features. So
100%.
it starts at 6:30 when hot laps start. Everything from that point on has got to be absolutely perfect, and you still got to have a boatload of luck. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what makes it so tough. And like I said, there's 12 or 13 guys that could win on any given night. It's not like there's 4 or 5 and then, then the rest couldn't. There's, I mean, half the field could win one of these races. I mean, so we're just, I am blessed beyond, to be able to be in that position and you know, my family to sacrifice everything they have over the years to be able to put me in that position. You know, they believed in me, from the time I was 7 years old when we started this thing. I said this is what I wanted to do and they believed me and we've just kind of kept chipping away at the old block at it.
That's awesome, man. Well, it freaking for sure paid off this weekend. No
It
joke.
did, yeah, yeah.
That was awesome, man. That was awesome. So, Wheatland, I think okay, the first time, and I'm going to put some video in here so people can see it. So I've got the video. I think you actually went ahead of Overton on the lap before the video I got, but you actually took off on the lap that I've got. So I'll put that in there so people can see it. Um, but so is Wheatland your home track? Is that home for you?
Yeah, it is. Well, yes. I have raced there, I think, every Saturday night when I was in a modified. We raced there every Saturday night from the time I was like 15. But really I started turning a lot of laps at Lebanon, over there at
Okay,
Lebanon at Midway Speedway.
right. Yeah.
I turned a boatload of laps over there too. So both of them, but probably mainly Wheatland. We've turned laps there and practiced there, and even if we went over there and are modified, and it was just the late models practicing, or whatever, we'd be over there trying to get in on a couple practice sessions, So just yeah, yeah, it's that's probably been the one place that I have always wanted to win a late model race at, and man, we've tried in everything. We've tried in the steel block and every regional late model race there could be there, and run second a ton of times over there, I feel like. Or, if something happens and we blow up or we break something, when we're running good, so for it to come together that night, them 2 nights, on the forest, tribute and then, get on the diamond, it just it all I felt like come full circle. All that frustration, all them bad runs we had, just kind of showed me that that was kind of what it was saving for. There was a bigger plan ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the reason I was asking you if that was your home track, because so I think the first time I've actually met you in person, like really got to meet you, was at the show me. I don't know how that's possible, but I think that was the first time I actually got to meet you in person. And I'll put a picture on here too. Yeah, I had a door. I've been a fan of yours for quite a while. And I got one of your 2 foot doors, and I gave it to Easton that you met. You took a picture with
Yeah,
him
I
at Show
remember
Me
that. Yep.
100, and I gave him that door. He was super excited. He wasn't able to come up there with me, but so that was the first time I got to meet you. I was going to ask you, so what in between Show Me and like the race this weekend? Is it track conditions? Is it you just hit the right setup? Like what is it in between there that you get that you know that much better result?
Yeah, I told my mom this morning because she was saying something about the car looks so good this weekend. I said we haven't changed anything since the show me.
Really?
Anytime that I tighten the race car up or whatever, like we tightened up, a little too much or got my right rear load a little too low at 34 Raceway, and I was 18th. You know what I mean? So like when we run good at Lernerville and Muskegon County and them racetracks, we didn't change the car, man. We just rolled out there and which, probably helps a lot for me just having the race car feel the same every time I go on the
I
racetrack.
got you.
So it's very consistent and this weekend it just for some reason it played in really, really well to what we had going on. And I felt very very mentally focused this weekend. Just something about it, I tried to keep to myself, and just stay as focused as I could possibly stay focused, and make sure I was watching the track, everything they did to the track. I wanted to be on top of it, know what they were doing. If they lay that thing, I wanted to know how deep the lay was going in the racetrack, or how much water they was putting on it. Like it just because and that showed me like that's what you have to do. you got to stay as mentally focused everywhere you go. Even tonight up here at Adams County, like um, the more I can just relax and because I've always been the one. Me and Riley, we're the only two that's ever, other than my dad, that's ever really worked on my cars. So it's hard for me to like step away from that and be like, okay, you guys do your thing on this race car, you know what I mean? And then we'll, whether it be change a shock or make an adjustment, that was always me, So it's tough for me to be like, okay, y'all take over this, and I'll go watch the racetrack, and then we'll reconvene when we want to talk about it and see what we want to do for these races. But I think that's what's got to happen, and Riley he has definitely done his best to fill that position of being a crew chief. He's as green at it as I am, so he has worked his tail off, and he has done everything he needs to do to fill that position and give me that peace of mind that hey, it's gonna be all right. You go take care of your job, I'll take care of mine, and we'll do good.
Yeah. I probably got some video of him,
Yeah.
doing the
Oh
sticks
yeah.
there. I'm sure he's
Yeah.
in there in one of those videos
Yeah.
that I've got
I
of you.
guarantee it. He
So,
was he was more worked up about it than I was.
I bet somebody had, and what was Scott? I'll say this: somebody commented on one of the deals that, uh, with that caution 5 laps to go, that Scott Bailey was probably getting awfully nervous or something like that. So,
Well, yeah. Hey,
What was Scott doing this weekend?
he was wearing his shoes out. I'll tell you that old boy needs another pair of shoes after this weekend. He gets just as nervous as my dad does. They'll sit up there and pace laps around up there and just wear a set of shoes slap out up there walking around so nervous. But you know, Scott, the I bought Jesse Stovall's old motors when we started, and that first year we ran good at the Show Me. That was like a 7 or 14-year-old motor. We had one that was 7 years old and one that was like 14 years old from Stovall, and so, I mean, that's just a testament to Scott's Motors, and we've been on his stuff ever since. It was funny actually. That motor that we won with this weekend of his was called Old Reliable. It was one that he built me 4 years ago. The first wide bore high force that he built me. Yeah, so it's 4 years old. And it just it's a hell of a motor. It is so stout.
That's awesome.
It keeps pulling. It's I cannot say enough about Scott Bailey's program. We've tried to tweak on him and work on him together. And if I'm at the racetrack and I need something, we called him one morning. Me and Riley were in the shop and we found something wrong, and we called him at 4 a.m. and he answered the phone and got out of bed and went out to the shop to help us. And I feel like, he's like a second dad to me. I say he's been with us through thick and thin, whether it's being there at the racetrack just to support, or whether he's out there at 112 degrees changing valve springs for me, or checking timing or whatever it is. He's more than I could have ever asked for in an engine builder. He's one of my best friends, and it's just very special to be the one to get him, his first Lucas Oil Tour win. That was a big deal for both of us. So
Yeah,
it's
y'all
def-
may have just y'all may have just made him really busy.
I hope so. I hope so. But no, I mean, he's been getting busier. He retired from what he was doing before and went solely building motors. And I'm gonna tell you, with Tyler Erb doing as good as he's done with it,
Yeah,
it's definitely picked business up too. So I'm happy to see that and see Scott's Motors doing well in both series.
yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir. So, and yeah, people can probably see this. You're in your toter, so you were talking
Yes, sir.
about you're probably talking about need to relax and stuff before the race. So here you are talking to me, but you are racing tonight up
Yep,
in
yep.
Iowa.
We're
So
racing up here in Adams County. This is my first time being here, so it was about 5 hours from the shop. And we pulled out 8 or 9 last night. Got here at 2:30 or 3 this morning. Of course, But that was me and Devin Moran's guys. They come over to the shop and worked on Devin's car, and so it's nice being able to run up and down the road with somebody, and we get along great with those guys. They are amazing people. They've kind of taken us under their wing and tried to help us. So I cannot say enough about them guys. They've you know not only are they our friends, but they have helped us out a ton. Whether it be just letting us follow them to the racetrack. That's a big help too, because heck, I don't know where I'm going to half these places. I ain't been to, I ain't been to a ton of them. So, it's, and getting to bounce ideas off them and just calling them our friends is pretty awesome of them and how they treat us. They don't see us as just some kids, out here. They treat us very well. So I can't say enough about them either.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Dylan, are you going to try to stick with Lucas for quite a bit, or what's the plan?
Yeah,
Past
we're gonna, finish out this year, of course, and see where we land in the points. But man, I love the Lucas series. I've always, held it to the highest standards. I love the racetracks that they go to. I feel like they go to some very amazing racetracks. And I think it's very professionally run. When you show up, it's going to be very professional, and they're going to do their best to take care of you. No matter where you're at. So I really love the series, and I enjoy racing with the guys that race it. They all race with respect, I think. And we all respect each other. So I don't feel like I'm going to a barroom fight when I show up to the
I
racetrack.
got
So
you.
I.
I got you. I got you. Hey, and I don't know if this is normal, but I know Saturday night that show went so smooth and so quick that I mean I didn't have time to go do all the stuff I wanted to do in the pits. I mean,
Yeah.
they just moved right along. I mean that's in it is for a racer, and I know that's good for fans. For a racer, is it pretty good pace for you to be able to do what you need to do your car in between hot laps, qualifying, heat
Right.
races?
It just depends, honestly. If your car's balanced like we was this weekend, it went really smooth. But man, I've been on the other end of that deal plenty of times this year where we were not very good and we're trying to wrench on this thing and then we're rushing around, it's a fire drill, and then, maybe we're not good in the heat race or something goes wrong, so we got to run a B main and it's right after the heat races. So there is definitely times that it can be a fire drill, but for the most part, I enjoy when things move that fast paced. Because it doesn't give me a lot of time to overthink what I'm doing.
I got you.
It's just get in there and drive, man. It forces me to make those hard decisions in a hurry, like on calls on the race car. And it'll definitely it'll let you know when you don't make the right call in a very quick manner. So, I enjoy, and, enjoy getting in, getting out, and, going to the next racetrack. That's the thing. Not all of us want to be driving down the road at 6 a.m. We got to get up at, 8 or 9 or whatever the next morning and start working on them. I've done that for a couple years on the road running the summer nationals, and it's definitely a grind when you gotta start doing that, so.
I don't see how you guys do it, man. They're just constantly going, constantly going. I mean, and working on them too at the same time. I mean, woo, it's probably not an old man's game.
It's it's definitely tough. Me and Riley, he's been with me for so long now. It's like, we're pretty much in sync on everything we do. But I mean, especially when we run the summer nationals 2 years in a row, there was more times I think we watched
Yeah,
the sun come up, watch the sun come up, working on that race car just to get up and work on it some more the next day than we did, actually sleeping. And it wasn't even that we tore anything up. It's just there was two of us, and we had a boatload of work to
abs-
get done. But that's
yeah,
that's what it took. Me and him, we ain't no stranger to hard work. Where we come from, that's just another day.
yes,
So,
sir.
I think that's the way with 90% of these people out here. These guys, you know, you ain't gonna beat them with hard work. Like they're all working hard, they all want to win, so you just got to stay dedicated and pay your dues. That's what we've been doing this year. Is I think we've been paying our dues. When we are running back there in the back or getting lapped or whatever, that is part of it. You got to wait your turn just like the other guy did. So just try to keep your head high and not let it get you too down. It's hard to crawl out of that rut when you get down there in it, but just gotta pay your dues and when it's your time, it'll happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I know you're probably pressed for time. I probably need to let you go. I got a question for you that I want to ask you. What's the magic support class number in your mind?
Oh, as far as how many support classes?
Yeah, yeah.
One. One. You know, because then, it gives us a little time, like, it's a rush when there's no support class, but, when we start getting 3 or 4 or 5 and we gotta start waiting around and, these late model racers get a little antsy, but
I
hey, I've
got you.
been in them support classes, so I know the feeling too, just wanting to be at the racetrack with these guys also, I've been on every scale of this deal you can be on, whether it be waiting for the late model show to get done at Wheatland so the modifieds can go out there and hot lap and start their show. I've been on both ends of this deal. So I like to see one support classes, maybe two. That still ensures that we have a very quick night of racing, but also, gives us a little time in between, if they've got to run a hot lap, seat race and a B main or a feature, whatever that might be, that it gives us a little time. So that way we're not like straight up one after the other. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. So that it is nice to have a sport class or two in between. But yeah, when you start getting a lot of cars and stuff like that, it may start to drag it out a little bit. But hey, without the sport classes, we may not have half the fans in the stands. That may be what they're there to watch. So um, it takes it all. It's I'm not by no means gonna sit here and say what should be done because I have no idea. I'm just out here winging it, man. We're just out here having a good time and trying to trying to accomplish dreams that we've had since we was little kids. So
Yes, sir. Well, man, this weekend that I know that had to be awesome for you. I know it
yeah,
had to be. It was
yeah.
awesome for the fans. So I know it had to be awesome for you for sure. So that was super cool to see.
Thank
And
you.
hopefully, man, hopefully you keep knocking them off on down the road.
That would
That'd
be
be pretty
nice.
cool.
That would be nice. Yeah, yeah. Keep paying the bills. But we're just taking it one day at a time, and just got to stay grounded, which I ain't one to get up on no high horse. So I just keep our heads down and keep working and do what we do day in and day out. Race. That's what we're here to do. Race and learn and learn as much as we can possibly learn from the guys we're around. Whether it be on the track, off the track. We strive to carry ourselves in a very well manner. And just try to be good people, I guess, and do what we love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I mean, I know you're a good guy, man. I know you are because you signed that door for that kid. I mean, I've been a fan of yours for a while. That was super cool. I'm gonna put that picture up
Thank you.
again because I'm super proud
Hey,
of that, man.
hey, there's without the fans, there would be no us. So it
Yes,
it
sir.
take it takes the fans more than it does us. If there ain't no fans in the stands or watching on flow, then we're all gonna have to go get regular jobs. So
I got you.
the fans are the biggest part of this sport. More than we are, and I love all my fans or new fans or whatever it may be. I try to be talk with them and be good to them, because they're always good to me and without them I wouldn't be able to do what I do for a living and neither would the rest of these guys. So just gotta appreciate the fans as much as they appreciate us and make sure everybody has a good time while they're there.
Heck yeah. Yes, sir. Speaking of fans and stuff like that, you have merch and where can folks get it, Dylan?
We right now we don't have any. We sold a lot of it, up there on
I
Saturday.
bet.
So we're in the works of getting a bunch more merch right now. And we're trying to get a website started up right now for that way everybody can get it on there. But yeah, just text the racing, message us on Facebook on the racing page, and we will do our best to get them shipped out the door, even though we don't have a website. We'll try to take care of everybody. I want everybody to be able to, you know, have something or whatever they want. We're just a small fish in a big pond, so we're trying to keep up, and it's a big learning process for us. We've never been in any position like this, so we're learning just as much as the next guy. So just everybody be patient. We're trying, trying to get everything worked out, and we'll have it going soon.
All right, good deal. Good deal. 'Cause I'm gonna definitely have to get some, Dylan, and gonna have
Perfect.
to get gonna have to snag something from you to put up here on the wall at some point.
Yeah,
So
well, we can get it taken
yeah,
care of,
yeah,
and we can
yeah.
get you taken care of.
Okay, so I gotta say this. I gotta give a big shout out to Chris Davis. Just a absolutely super good dude. He he's treated me really awesome the last couple of times. I mean, been really hospitable the last couple of times I've been up to Lucas, and I know you know him. I just want to give him a big shout out on here. He got us in touch, so
Yeah,
that was
Chris
super
is
cool.
yeah, Chris is one of the most amazing people I have ever met. He does so much more for this sport than anybody even realizes. He is like one of the backbones of this sport. He tries to take care of all the racers and make sure everybody's got what they need. And tries to help out small guys like me and so he's a very, very big part of this sport, and not to mention he's a pretty awesome guy. I can't say enough about him. He's one of our very, very good friends. He's been helping us out for a long time, and without him and Midwest Sheet Metal, I probably wouldn't be here today. And that goes with all my sponsors. We've had, most of these sponsors for a long time and just staying loyal to them and the if we get new sponsors, doing our best, doing our part for them and trying to take care of them as much as they take care of us. I may not do the best job at it, but we are trying for them, and that way they get the publicity they need and they deserve, because again, without them, I wouldn't be here. It literally takes a village to do what we do out here and to allow us to be out here on the road and have the cars and the stuff that we have, and tires and it takes a lot. So it every big sponsor, little sponsor, product sponsor, they're all a very, very huge part in my racing career and my success. Without them, you know, I'd probably be back at the farm baling hay and taking care of cattle. So we're just very thankful for them. I hope I didn't miss anybody in my interviews. I tried to get
Well,
every single one of them in there. So
shout some of them out now if you want to, man.
yeah, start at the front of the car, BLC transportation, Brent with BLC, he's been with us, since we started this late model deal. Of course, Scott Bailey, I can't forget him. He's a very big part in my deal. Bear Graphics, Brandon with Bear, we are very good friends with him. I think him and Dad talk like every day. Brandon is an amazing guy. He probably one of the best graphic designers I have ever seen in this sport. He is very good. He does a lot of wraps for a lot of guys. And keeps everybody looking fresh. Of course, Midwest Sheet Metal, Chris Davis. They do a huge, huge part for this sport. Taking care of everybody. Mount Hamilton Ford, out in Kansas, they help us out a lot, and everything like that. And Sonic, of course, everybody loves to see that Sonic on the quarter panels.
Me
You
and my
know,
wife, me and my wife always said we help sponsor your car because we're Sonic so
yeah.
much.
Hey, it's good eating there. There's nothing better than a Route 44 sweet tea from
Heck
Sonic.
yeah.
So, them and we're good friends with them also. And Empire Energy in Lebanon. You know, they've been on the car since I was in a modified, you know, so we've um got a big relationship with them guys. They've helped me out a lot over the years. You know, Heritage Tractor, up by Springfield. We you know, buy all our John Deere tractors through them guys. So you know, um that farming deal is just a big part of this racing is as all these other sponsors, you know, McCowan Farms, Pomeroy Services. You know, can't thank them enough. They're probably our biggest sponsors. So you know, just all of them. You know, I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, man, but it takes every single person. Swift Springs, I forgot him in my interview, and you know, I thought old Frank was gonna shun me for a little while. So, you know, Frank, he's been a very big part of my deal, my success. We met out at Vaudo when I was like 15 years old, I think. We were out there racing a B mod, and we needed some springs, and he kind of got us on the right track, and we've been, you know, very good friends with him ever since. You know, I consider him one of my good friends, you know, and he's always helping us out and doing a lot for us. Fast shafts, Bo with fast shafts. Let me tell you, them old boys build one heck of a drive shaft. I have, you know, I put them things to the test, you know, and, you know, all that stuff. And, Winter's rear end, you know, they're a big part. You know, afterburner performance. You know, there's just so many people that it takes to make this thing go round. You know, Maria with FK rod ends, Gorsuch Performance and Kaiser wheels. Just everybody, man. It's a big thing to get one of these late models up and down the road. You know, and it takes literally everybody. It takes everybody. You know, Longhorn chassis, Bilstein shocks. You know, just all these people that has helped us, you know, where you know, and it may not even be in a late model, you know, just everybody that's helped me get to this point. You know, I wouldn't be in Victory Lane and Lucas Oil Speedway if it wasn't for, you know, every single person that's helped me in the past, you know, whether it's been helping me on my driving, like Donnie Moran, you know, I went to his school a couple weeks ago when we was over there in Ohio with Devin. You know, there's so many people that it took every single one of them to get us to the point where we was in victory lane and at Luke's Oil with the Luke's Oil Dirt Series, you know, and I couldn't do it without all of them support me over these years and believing in me, you know, and the dream that I had and you know, everything like that. So it's just pretty emotional, you know, for us and you know, of course my mom and dad, you know, they have given me every opportunity in the world to do what I want to do, and you know, I can't thank enough, you know, thank them enough. You know, it's a pretty big deal for us. You know, there've been a lot of, you know, I always say my dad's he is very, very competitive. There's been times where I've, you know, hit a Ute tire in a modified and he wouldn't even let me ride back with him. I had to ride back with my mom. You know, he's been the one that's pushed me so hard over the years and you know, without him, you know, I probably wouldn't drive as aggressive or smart or, you know, all these things. I know he didn't drive a race car, but you know, he taught me what a hard work is and you know, taught me how to respect the guys that I'm around and you know, all these things. So you know, him and my mom have done more for me than I could ever repay in this life. You know, so just huge shout out to them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Dylan. Well, I'm going to let you go.
Hold
I
on,
know.
hold on. I better say thank you to my girlfriend Cody. She's the
Yeah,
one that's
you
been
better.
selling this merch. So you know, and putting up with my bad attitudes when we have bad runs. So I need to say thank you to her and my grandma and my little brother too. You know, I almost forgot him, but he's when dad's on me pretty hard, you know, for messing up or whatever, he's the one that's always sticking up for me, you know. So just thank you to everybody that's helped us and I know I sound probably like a broken record, but it's you know, that's what it takes is a lot of people believing in you.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir. 100%. 100%. I know you've got some racing to do tonight. You got more work to do tonight. And so I'm going to let you go, man. No joke. Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you.
Super awesome this weekend,
Thank
man.
you. Yep.
Super awesome.
We're gonna
It
put our
was.
nose on the grindstone and keep digging. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, thanks for coming on here and talking to me. I really appreciate it.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. Good
Thank
luck
you.
tonight, the rest of the season, and I'm sure I'll see you here at the track before too awful long.
And I'll look forward to it.
All right. Thanks, Dylan.
Thank you.
Thank you.